In 1999, fate brought Britney and Kevin closer when he moved to LA to pursue a career as a dancer. For Kevin, it was time to cut off all ties to his old life.
He was engaged to his girlfriend, Carrie Whittington, yet he broke up with her and moved to LA and just arrived single, unattached, ready to sort of attack Hollywood and become a star.
Within 2 weeks, Kevin scored a gig which put him right in Britney's path.
Kevin landed his big job dancing for LFO, who were opening for Britney at the time.
Britney and Kevin were on the same tour. They could have gotten together, but there were a couple of problems.
He was a backup dancer, not for her, but for the band LFO that was opening for her. Britney says she sort of remembers him, but not really. But of course, he remembers her.
And 19-year-old Britney was in the middle of her first big romance.
I just want to say I like Britney Spears.
She and Justin finally went public in 2000, and they really went all out.
I remember they had a picture of them dressed in the same denim outfit, head to toe. You know, I mean, they were definitely then having fun with it. They were kind of America's favorite sweethearts.
Britney was in a very committed relationship with Justin Timberlake, so there was no way she would have been looking at anybody else romantically.
Britney's tour continued for 2 months. When it was over, she moved into a lavish home on the Hollywood Hills with Justin, even though Britney claimed she planned to stay a virgin until marriage. The press questioned her story.
When I interviewed her, she started talking about Sex and the City, and she was saying that she totally identified with Carrie Bradshaw, that she is Carrie Bradshaw. Was she a virgin? She said she was, but I don't know a lot of virgins who say they are Carrie Bradshaw. I don't know. You do the math.
While Britney's personal life made headlines, her career was soaring. Kevin, meanwhile, looked for his next gig.
She was a pin-up and an icon in every area and fraction of the pop world that you can think of. Kevin, meanwhile, was sharing an apartment with 6 other people. He was struggling.
Britney was more in demand than ever. In 2002, she tried her hand at acting in the movie Crossroads, but in real life, 21-year-old Justin was still her leading man.
Everything starts with love. To have a real relationship, I was always taught that there are 2 things you need. One of them being trust, the other one being respect. And you don't sweat the small stuff.
Yes, yes.
You like that one?
I like that.
Does that sound like I knew what I was talking
perfect,
about?
Yes.
All right.
Ultimately, Britney chose to focus on music over acting, so she and Kevin still moved in the same circles. Kevin went on tour with Pink and appeared in music videos for Usher, Destiny's Child, and one of Britney's idols, Michael Jackson.
One of my favorite all-time artists is Michael Jackson. He's just amazing. He is just so brilliant.
It wasn't in Kevin's nature to stay single for long. Pretty soon he got himself a Hollywood girlfriend to go with his Hollywood life.
Kevin's next big relationship was with actress Shar Jackson. They met when she was on the show Moesha, and it was quite serious.
They were living in Orange County, building a family life, and it seemed like they might have a strong foundation.
Once again, Britney and Kevin were on very different paths. In 2002, 24-year-old Kevin became a dad to baby Corey, while Britney and Justin split.
They were kids, and it definitely seemed like she was curious about dating other people, doing other things, going out in Hollywood.
If you look at her relationship with Justin Timberlake, they were together for 2 years and never got married, and I think she realizes that maybe that was the most healthy relationship she's ever been in.
The split from Justin marked the birth of a new Britney.
Britney had always been seen as a good girl until she and Justin broke up, and then she immediately went from good girl to bad girl.
She had been touring and making records for a really long time and hadn't busted out and had a lot of fun, and saw other young stars doing that and wanted to do it too.
Britney's personal life made news again when her now ex Justin Timberlake released his hit single, Cry Me a River.
People definitely speculated that she had cheated on Justin. I don't know that anyone really knows for sure.
Then in 2003, Britney was briefly linked to Limp Bizkit frontman Fred Durst, though she denied dating him.
I think she's special, but I don't think that we'll be talking anymore.
Britney was even more briefly linked to Hollywood's resident bad boy, Colin Farrell.
I've met her through some mates. I know she's a sweet girl. She's a sweet girl.
In November 2003, Britney's career hit a high note when her 4th album, In the Zone, debuted at #1 on the charts. But the new year would bring a personal low for Britney, her impulsive marriage to old friend Jason Alexander.
She had this guy who she knew, who was a friend from high school, waiting in the wings, and it didn't seem like that bad of an idea to at least make one of her dreams come true by marrying him in Vegas.
After 55 hours, with the help of her mother and perhaps a couple lawyers, that relationship was annulled.
Britney's reckless decision signaled that there was something missing in her life.
Britney has been very vocal about loving being in love, about wanting to get married, having kids.
Kevin seemed to have everything Britney wanted. Shar was expecting their second baby, but he wasn't happy in suburbia.
According to Shar Jackson, she has said that she encouraged Kevin to spend more time in Los Angeles so he could pursue his career.
That April, Britney was unattached and in LA on a break from her Onyx hotel tour. While hanging out at a club with some friends, she spotted a lone guy on the dance floor and beckoned him over. Britney didn't recognize the backup dancer from her tour 4 years earlier, but there was just something about Kevin.
Kevin and Britney finally meet again. They meet at the Hollywood hotspot Joseph's and are inseparable from that moment onwards. Pretty much within days of that, they're pictured on the beaches in California. They just never left each other's sides.
Kevin went from wannabe to somebody overnight. He began living his Hollywood dream.
The first time we sat down in radio, how did you get it? How did you get Britney Spears? And he gave me this smile and this chuckle that I'll never forget. It was almost like I'm a pimp. I just think that dude he mesmerized her.
Britney had to return to her tour a week later, but it was difficult to leave Kevin behind.
Britney has described Kevin as a magnet. She says she just couldn't stay away from him.
So Britney invited Kevin to join her in London. Kevin told Shar that he was traveling overseas to shoot a commercial and packed his bags for good.
During their tour of Europe, Britney's so sure about this relationship that she very immediately proposes to Kevin.
Now, he didn't accept at that point because he wasn't sure and because he thought the guy should be the one to ask the girl. So later, he officially asked her in a more formal way.
In July 2004, just 3 months after meeting in the club, Britney and Kevin announced their engagement. The public was skeptical.
Do I have a certain date where I got into the pool of when they're going to break up? Yes, we all have a date.
But nothing could burst Britney and Kevin's bubble.
These two, despite their difficulties, definitely have some weird animal sense of attraction. It's really even hard to define, hard to explain, but you do get the sense that somehow they are made for each other.
Still to come, the love ride hits a speed bump.
There were so many things, it just seemed like this is not going to work.
And the unbelievable way Kevin found out that Britney had filed for divorce.
Damn, you know?
When Love Ride, Britney and Kevin returns.